We have an empathy problem. If you are chronically online like me, this isn't much of a shock to you. You see this stuff in comment sections all the time. Recently, you guys probably saw a couple of streamers who are girls were out on some pier. I think they live in LA, and they were attacked by like some crazy deranged fan. And instead of the response being, oh my God, are they okay? Which there was some of that. There was an overwhelming amount of people that were like, well, what did they expect? Why didn't they have security? I can understand the why didn't they have security aspect, but a lot of it was also like, oh, those look like fake tears. I do not understand how you can have the sentiment of they're overreacting when a stranger that they do not know is walking up on them talking about, I'm gonna kill you. What? And the insane thing is, in my mind, a normal person would see that stuff and go, yeah, that was weird, I hope they're okay. And instead, somehow we tend to make things the victim's fault in today's society. And personally, I feel like the reason why we have an empathy problem is because of COVID. Think about when a lot of these young people were growing up, they were forced inside of their homes for months, years. During their most developmental years, when they were supposed to be testing out some of this idiotic rhetoric, they couldn't. They were in echo chambers. They were in their houses, bro, consuming the same type of messed up content of like Andrew Tate or just like hyper masculine, women hating like people. They were not able to have that mindset, use it in the real world. And when something happened, someone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? They weren't allowed to look introspectively, if that makes sense. Unfortunately, the way in which you would normally do that in the real world is so much more jarring than online. I feel like it doesn't hit as hard. When a person in your comment section is like, that's weird, shut up, you're not gonna take that to heart the same way you would if someone were to say that to your face. And I feel like that's kind of the issue, is that nowadays, lack of empathy / ignorance, it spreads like a virus in a way that it literally could not have in our parents' generations or the generations before. And that's because of technology. They didn't have social media to spread stuff the same way we didn't have planes, trains, boats, cars. Social media is a way for the virus of like ignorance, bigotry, hatred, whatever to spread. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. Within each one of those platforms, you could probably think of a creator that has made content that like allows that stuff to fester. And think about it. How many of your favorite streamers blew up during COVID? A lot of them. And it's because we were all at home consuming content. Now, the content you were consuming obviously is up to you and like what you find interesting. But the problem is that we weren't going out. So if maybe I saw one video with like weird rhetoric, but I'm young and don't actually think it's weird, I might go, Andrew Tate guy kind of has a point. Or maybe you think he's so jarring initially, but he makes one point that you like, and so you start to watch more of his videos. I don't know if these people can be saved per se, because you think about when these ideas were formed was in such a like important time of their lives that I just don't see them like ever feeling the need to look outside of themselves and realize why what they're saying is messed up. Because you have to think about it. A lot of times in these instances, we would go, well, if it happens to them, then maybe this stuff happens all the time. Or people will leave a comment being like, what if that was your sister? What if that was your mom? And people don't care. In a weird way, through watching these videos, it feels like people have like drank the Kool-Aid and they've kind of lost the plot. They just do not care. They see women as a whole as like the same entity of like whatever warped sexist view they have. They've made it more universal in a way. They've like generalized them to the point where you could even not like your own mom just because she's a woman, which is kind of weird. And another thing is, and kind of the last thing I'll say is that because there's so much of this stuff online, it used to be if you were to bring up something like that, people would go, that's weird, what are you talking about? But because there are people with huge platforms that actually make money talking about this stuff, it's very hard to try and change someone's mind about it, because it's like, well, that guy's saying it and millions of people agree with him. Who are you? Like, you're that one person in the real world trying to talk to them, and it's like, okay, and no one else has ever said this about me or like about my thought process. And a lot of those people might not even share this sentiment out loud, but everyone is so vocal online, and online voices have a lot of power that it's like, I don't know, I feel like it almost carries more of a weight to be silent about it in person and then do it online. I don't know. I don't know if I actually mean that, but this is off the dome, of course. But yeah, if you guys saw that video, let me know what you all thought. I hope the girls are fine. I saw they made a response video. I just hope that in the future we can not jump to conclusions as easily and, like, I don't know, believe women and understand why in the real world, when you think your life is in danger and you're retelling a story, you might have things come up that trigger a response in the sense that you're like, oh fuck, I could have died. Oh, I could have died. It just seems like so many people are not in touch with their emotions right now that, like, understanding how they come out in tear form feels performative to people. And that's sad because that's like, I don't know, crying is such a visceral reaction that we all have and all are capable of doing. And to not let yourself experience that because the way in which you see tears is performative is kind of strange and sad. Anyways, I'm done yapping. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, see you next time.